Number 5. Kodama. The Kodama are tree spirits, similar to the dryads, though they look much smaller and cuter. They usually live deep in the mountainous forests of Japan. These tree spirits can manifest itself outside of its main tree host and could wander very far from the trees they are living in. They usually tend the groves around the area and help maintain the balance of the ecosystem. They rarely show themselves to humans, but when they do, they usually show themselves in the form of either faint light orbs or in the form of small cute funny-looking creatures with a humanoid figure. Also, if you happen to get an echo which took long to return, there's a possibility that the Kodama is around. The Kodama are connected to the tree it inhabits. If the tree dies, the Kodamas will also die, and vice versa. If the tree it inhabits is cut down, it is believed that the whole area would be cursed, and the community that killed the tree will fall to ruin. Thus, the Kodama are seen as the god or protector of the forest that blesses the land it is in. And if you've seen some trees marked with a Shimera, a sacred rope around it, that tree is considered the tree that houses the Kodama, and it would bring misfortune if it is cut down. Number 4. Wanyudo, or Wheel Monk. This yokai is very dangerous. Its appearance looks pretty weird as it's a flaming head of a man in the middle of a carriage wheel, or specifically an ox cart wheel. It flies to move around. The head in the middle of the wheel is always bald, that's why it's called a wheel monk. The Wanyudo is said to guard the gates of hell, wandering back and forth between this world and the underworld. Some say it's just the condemned soul of a tyrant daimyo and lives in the mountains. Either way, they are dangerous beings. The only way to stay safe from the Wanyudo is to not be seen by them. So being indoors is the best way to not be seen as the Wanyudo wanders the city streets, especially around Kyoto at night. Though it is said to usually drag wrongdoers to hell, but that's just wishful thinking, as normal people have also been its victims. They would usually rip their victims' limbs apart, leaving a burnt husk of a body while dragging their souls to hell. Number 3. Mujina. Have you ever heard of the yokai called the Tanuki? The Mujina is similar to the Tanuki, but they don't have the infamous big scrotums worthy of a song. If you want to know how to sing about the Tanuki scrotum, check the link in the description. The similarities between these two creatures are their size. Both are furry land animals, they have magical powers, and of course, the main thing is that they can shapeshift. The Mujina are less known in the yokai world, as when they do shapeshift, they rarely slip up in their disguise, that encounters of them are very scarce. Though, the Mujina's favorite shapeshift is to shapeshift into another yokai called the Noperabo. The Noperabo is a humanoid creature that looks like a human being but has nothing where a face should be. The Noperabo's main MO is to scare people. They would appear in the middle of the road, either appearing to be troubled or running some kind of stall, and seem to always face away from you. If you happen to talk with them, they would turn around, revealing its faceless face. If you run away, it would appear that it's not chasing you, but the next person you see and explain what you just saw to, that person might just be an Noperabo. It would listen intently at first, then would smile and say, "Oh, like this?" and wipes its face away. The Mujina probably likes seeing the scared faces of humans and so enjoys being an Noperabo most of the time. Number 2. Nioh. The Nioh is the Japanese Chimera. Well, somewhat. It has a body that is a mixture of different animals, just like the Chimera. Usually, it's a creature with a monkey's head, a tanuki's body, tiger's legs, and a tail with a snake's head. But it varies from accounts to accounts because it is believed that the appearance of the Nioh is too bizarre and it exceeds humans' understanding. Thus, it is highly likely to look more strange than what is mostly depicted. The Nioh is one of the oldest yokai ever recorded, and this yokai is one that you would not want to meet. It is said to be the harbinger of bad luck, but they are known to be elusive creatures, so meeting them is almost impossible. Attacks from them has never been reported to be physical, but from their appearance it's apparent that they could definitely cause a lot of physical harm. So either it would attack, but discreetly, or they are peaceful animals. Though I said peaceful, as I said earlier, they are the harbinger of bad luck. If they are around, something disastrous would happen, and if they appear a lot of times, someone is bound to get an incurable illness. There's a story about the creature in the Heike Monogatari that happened around the year 1153. At that time, there were dark clouds that would appear near the palace roof every single night. The emperor at the time, Emperor Konoe, then fell ill and started being paranoid and fearing the clouds. Night after night, the clouds loomed over the palace. The emperor's illness got worse and can't seem to be cured. So out of curiosity, or the last resort, Minamoto no Yoshie, one of the emperor's retainers, flung an arrow towards the black clouds. Surprise, surprise, a bird's cry in pain was heard. That's when he told Minamoto no Yorimasa, the master of arrows, to kill whatever that's in the clouds. It took a while, but one night, the Nioh, with a loud shriek, finally fell to the ground. They then finished it off. Weirdly enough, there were a few more sounds coming from the skies, but it slowly disappeared together with the clouds, and the emperor's health then recovered. Number 1. Yamata no Orochi. The Yamata no Orochi is a snake-like creature with 8 heads and 8 tails. It's also very big, spanning across 8 valleys and 8 hills with a body covered in moss and some vegetation. This creature is a carnivore, and there's a story about it in the Japanese mythology concerning Susanoo, the brother of the sun goddess Amaterasu, while he was exiled to Earth because of a horse or pony. I explained the relationship in a different video. Anyways, Susanoo was exiled to Earth, and one day when he was probably lounging about at a shrine made for him, as he is the Shinto god of sea and storms, a couple came to him asking for help. Well, some other story says that when he was exiled from the heavens, he was near a river and went upstream to find people. This was when he saw a couple with a young girl between them, grieving and being all gloomy. It was not certain whether the couple were wealthy humans or some earthly deities, as it differs from story to story, but the couple then asked for Susanoo's help because they were being tormented by the giant serpent. They said that every year, Yamata no Orochi would come and devour their daughters. 7 out of 8 of their daughters were already gone, and soon, the Orochi would come for their last daughter, Kushi Nadahime. Susanoo, seeing their grief and actually smitten by the girl, decided to help them. Of course, he also told them he wants Kushi Nadahime for himself as a wife. They agreed, the girl agreed, thus Operation Kill Yamata no Orochi began. He turned the girl into a comb temporarily, which he puts in his own hair, probably to talk with her while fighting and to keep her close to protect her. He then disguised himself to look like the last daughter as bait. He also asked the parents to brew sake and refine it 8 times, which would then be put out in 8 different gates, which he also asked to build as an extra lure and trap for the Yamata no Orochi. Nevertheless, the traps actually worked. Yamata no Orochi arrived being all menacing, but when it saw the sake, the Yamata no Orochi drank it like an offering. One by one, its heads started to get drunk. It then got so drunk, it became immobilized. This is when Susanoo took the opportunity to strike. But before he decided to kill it, he asked what the creature was and why it attacked people. The serpent managed to reply that it is the manifestation of evil, and he used fear to control people for its bidding. Also that even if his body decayed, he'll still be around as long as evil remained. Thus Susanoo said he'll always be there to fight the Yamata no Orochi again if need be, and slash! He lopped off the heads and tails of the serpent one by one. But something strange happened. When he got to one of the tails, his sword broke. He found this very unusual and later found a great sword in that particular tail. He then named it Ame no Murakumo no Tsurugi, which means Sword of the Gathering Clouds of Heaven, but currently it's more famously known as Kusanagi no Tsurugi. So he later represented the sword to his sister Amaterasu to reconcile their dispute and end his exile. Amaterasu forgave him, the sky cleared up because Amaterasu wasn't mad anymore, and Susanoo married Kushi Nadahime.